me all your raw impressions, your thoughts, your words, your time. It's all about communication, etc., etc. Adele and Lou, where have you been? This is the longest period you've gone without a podcast in the last 2 and change years. What's going on? Lou, what's your excuse?
Well, I got plenty.
Excuse.
I got plenty of excuses.
Yeah, you do.
What is it?
Mm.
Today the cassette is brought to you through the courtesy of the Grateful Dead. June 28th, 1974. This is the cassette that I'm living in right now. They are recording. Lou is recording over a undoubtedly classic Dead show from 1974. I'm sure that was some.
Don't people want those? Aren't those valuable?
I don't know.
Well,
But anyway.
when I get a sec, I'll tell you.
Okay.
We'll explain.
Okay. Carry on, you two. Thank you for listening to the Raw Impressions podcast. If you're still listening at all, if we haven't lost you, if Lou hasn't lost you, Lou lost you.
Well, let me explain. I've been through a bit of a 4-track journey recently. I tried to get a new 4-track off of eBay.
You actually...
Not a new one. I mean, I can't get a new cassette 4-track, but I got one that said it was...
You did order one.
I did. I ordered one off of a guy somewhere, and he sent it to me. I bought it. I purchased it.
Where did you buy it from? Like what site?
eBay.
You bought it off eBay.
Classic.
Okay.
I went classic.
Yeah, old school.
Old school. I went eBay. Got myself another Tascam Porta 1 4-track. And this one's kind of cool because it has a little Grateful Dead sticker in the window, the cassette window. Mm-hmm. And I bought it, and the guy was like, oh, sort of like, I'm happy to bequeath my baby to you. That I recorded all these Dead shows on. And I got it, and it doesn't work. Totally doesn't work. And anyway, we negotiated a little bit, and I decided to keep it.
Okay.
Because somebody's going to fix it for me. Maybe you. I'm pointing into our crowd.
I was like, I don't think I can do that.
You can't. You can do all kinds of things. You can do so much stuff. Adele's a talented person in so many ways. You fixed so many things in my life. But you can't fix my 4-track, honey.
I can't. No.
But someone will.
Is that you, person? Can I bring it to you? Can we meet? Lou's going to be leaving to go on a Dinosaur Jr. tour. Maybe I can meet you at a coffee shop somewhere. Northampton? Yeah. Anyone?
So, and now, you and I went on... I got back from the Bobby Bear Jr. tour. People don't know about
Lou Barlow / Bobby Bear Jr. tour.
This is one of the things that have happened between the last podcast that we did.
It's actually been such a busy month. It's so busy that so sorry we've neglected our dear raw pod.
Do we have to apologize? I don't know if we have to apologize to anybody. I'm confused. I get confused because I do feel a sense of responsibility. I do feel at times a burden to just to keep coming up with funky ass shit. Like
I don't like burden. I don't like burden.
It's a bad word.
Yeah.
It's a bad word. And
okay.
I've been flirting with that word quite a bit lately. But and I don't like it. I don't like the word burden. I don't like it. I don't like it for me to use it referring to anything in my life. Although sometimes you got to say, that's a burden, I don't want to do it. Sometimes you got to draw a line. Sometimes you got to have a boundary.
Yeah.
And I have not historically been good at boundaries. Anyway, so you and I, when we got back from when I got back from my tour, we set aside 2 days to
Yeah.
to go somewhere that is not our house, where we're not being taunted by the things that we need to do
Yeah.
in our house. Because, I mean, not only is 4-track man giving me shit, so is, I don't know, the washing machine.
Yeah.
So are the dishes.
Yeah. Ants.
Ants are giving me shit.
Mice.
Tiny ants and mice.
Yeah, I rehomed a mouse. Yeah.
So we went on a little trip to a couple of towns, and they call it upstate New York. It's south of here for us, but it's
That's
upstate New York.
So
and it's,
confusing. Yeah.
you just you go west from where we live and then down south a little bit. And we went to a town called Hudson.
Well, so we did this also because it was our 10-year wedding anniversary,
Right.
which fell on Mother's Day this year, which was our wedding anniversary is May 11th. And we're trying to find time to, celebrate it basically, because we've been so busy. We honestly didn't even buy each other anything. It was just like, how about our gift be, let's go away for a couple days. And
Well, that was my suggestion because I completely,
yeah,
once
but
again,
that's what we did.
once again, I whiffed when it came to getting presents.
But so we went to Hudson, New York for one night and Rhinebeck for the second. So we were in Hudson, New York. Is that technically the Catskills? Is that what that area is called?
I don't really know. They
Okay.
do. I do see that word, sort of volleyed around a lot when it comes to that area. It's the Hudson River Valley, as far as I know,
Yeah.
because it's towns that are more or less along the mighty, muddy.
Very muddy.
Yeah, you really commented on that. One of the first things that we did when we got to Hudson was go to a river overlook.
Our room wasn't ready yet, so we decided to just start our walk around town. And basically, there's one main shopping drag in Hudson. It's Warren Street. And you can walk all the way up and down it. And it's filled with stores, which is so cool, actually. And we were even there on a Monday because, I'll be honest, Greenfield, MA, where we live, the town, our downtown has, a number of like empty storefronts, and it does have some places that are doing quite well, but, I wouldn't.
Many other storefronts that seem to pass.
Yeah, they
hands.
they're there one
You're like,
week.
oh, that's a cute shop. Now it's gone.
It's gone.
You're
Exactly.
like, how-
What is that thing? So, it was really cool to just be, in a actual kind of main street and have store after store to decide to look through and walk down and into.
Let me quickly explain this cassette
Yeah.
thing. Now, there's a record store here in Greenfield called
Yes.
Greenfield Records, but previously
Yeah.
it was called John Doe Jr.
Correct.
And John Doe Sr., the original John Doe Records,
Yeah.
is in Hudson.
Yes. It's a brothers
Two brothers.
own these.
Yep.
Scott and
Scott owns the one here,
Yeah.
and but now it's called Greenfield Records. But
Yep.
he owns the one here in Greenfield.
Mm-hmm.
And his brother, Dan, whom I know from his band, the Bunny Brains, who opened for Sebadoh back in the day.
okay. Yeah.
And Dan gave me a lot of cool shit, too. He gave me an Optigon.
Wow.
This is crazy. Keyboard.
So is that the same
Look it up.
location Dan has been in since he opened up John Doe?
I don't know. Probably.
It's been there a while.
It's been there a while. Anyway, his shop is just like, it's kind of like if you were to walk, what is it like? It's just, there's just shit everywhere.
It's almost kind of like a antique store / record store vibe. Whereas I think Scott's is more of like a traditional record shop, where it's pretty like organized
Yes,
and
organized.
There's like space, for example, it's not filled every inch. Like it's kind of curated, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whereas Dan's is like, it's almost like, like from floor to ceiling, there's little things like in every little nook, like, oh, there's a pile of cassettes there. There's DVDs or whatever. And so
VHS.
Yeah, it's just
toys. It's
great too. It's just a different kind of vibe for what if you're looking for. If you're more into like digging, right?
If you want to dig and find crazy shit, go to the
John Doe in Hudson.
John Doe and Hudson.
Yes.
And that's where I found he had a bunch of really nice cassettes. These are Maxell XL2S 100-minute cassettes. This is my standard of cassettes. This is what 4-Track Man lives in.
Oh.
These are really hard to get. They are aging poorly as they go decades old, as they often are. They start to decay, and so I've had a hard time finding cassettes that I can use because I've used them so much in the Raw Impressions podcast. But Dan had a whole stack of Grateful Dead bootlegs on the cassettes I really want. So the intro to the show was recorded over a portion of a Grateful Dead show from the 28th of June, 1974.
Wow.
And that's not when it was recorded, but someone had put it on this because the Grateful Dead fans created a very extensive, an underground, a community, a thriving community of people who have really kept cassettes alive over the years. They've found the best cassette players.
Yeah.
They restore them. So it's kind of interesting. So as I'm looking for a new cassette recorder for 4-Track Man to live in, this new one that I've acquired is actually from a Grateful Dead fan with a Grateful Dead sticker on it.
Yeah. I was just, as you're talking about that,
I'm falling asleep.
Oh.
No, I'm just kidding.
Okay.
I'm going on about this. This is like ephemera. This is like talking about cassettes and
Dead media.
Dead media might be less than interesting for some people.
Well, you know what I was just thinking? When we were talking about the Grateful Dead, I had, for the first time ever, I had like this almost a little whiff, this sort of air came over me of like jealousy. I'm like, damn, wow, people who love the Grateful Dead, their love is so strong, so solid. And they don't care if you like the Grateful Dead. They're just like, it doesn't matter. Remember, I think I said this a long time ago, that's what's cool actually about a Grateful Dead fan is it doesn't matter if you're into it. It's for themselves. And they know there's a community, right? And their community is so strong that people would go, right, and record these shows and probably have really cool ways of exchanging tapes and buying them and whatever. And just the fandom around that band.
The economy.
Yeah, it's incredible.
It really is incredible.
Like, I'm jealous of that.
Incredible.
That's amazing. But yeah. I'm like,
we
that
actually,
must be nice.
Must be nice. We did an early episode loosely based on the Grateful Dead, but people can go look for that.
Sure.
Please.
Yeah. I mean, I don't, right. Basically, I was just saying that I don't really, I mean, the music. That's for some and not for others, the music of Grateful Dead. Right.
And we can move on. We spent the first day of our wedding anniversary getaway, Catskill / Hudson River Valley getaway in Hudson, New York.
Yes.
Walking up and down Warren Street.
Well, so yeah, we went into John Doe.
What else am I talking about?
I don't know. It was like you cut off, you didn't want to hear me talk about the Grateful Dead.
I think we should stop talking about the Grateful Dead.
Oh, why?
Because we know so very little about it.
Oh, okay. Because it seemed really abrupt.
It was. I apologize.
Are you on an edible or something? Like what?
No,
this?
I'm not.
Okay.
No.
There's an urgency in you.
I've got a lot to do. I've got to pack.
Sure.
I've got to pack. I'm leaving tomorrow to go to the United Kingdom and then on to Germany.
Oh my gosh.
Performing the Without a Sound record.
Well, we could talk about what are some highlights from our 2 days and maybe some of your highs and some lows. Any Any highs or lows that come to mind from our 2 days? We Hudson, New York, and then Rhinebeck.
Well, in Rhinebeck, Rhinebeck is not quite as interesting as Hudson. Hudson is a real interesting combination.
That's true.
I would say, it's almost like an old factory town in a lot of ways. It reminds me of a little bit of these Western Mass factory town vibes. You know, towns that maybe are past their prime a little bit, a little grungy.
Yeah.
Hudson has that vibe, but then it has this crazy, almost like Brooklyn, like Manhattan thing going on in there too, down this one street. But Rhinebeck is a bit more of like an upscale community village with a lot of like historical things in it, like the oldest inn in America.
We ate there twice.
We did.
Yes.
We ate at the oldest inn in America. What was it called? Oh.
Because that's how we roll.
What was it called?
Beekman?
Beekman, thank you.
Yeah.
I thought we were both going to just hang on that for the next 30 seconds. But Beekman, the Beekman Inn Tavern.
It was right like around the corner basically from where we were staying. And so Lou and I, thankfully, are very similar when it comes to like kind of like ease and things like that. When we're traveling, we're very compatible. We don't have like one person going, we have this schedule and we have to do this and we're going to see this and blah, blah, blah. And like being flexible, we're very much of the like, what is it? The path of least resistance, you know? Oh, we ate that place for lunch. Do we feel like trying a new restaurant for dinner? Maybe. How about maybe not? You know,
we looked at one.
Yeah, we thought about it.
Not impressed.
And it didn't call to me.
No.
Legitimately, beyond just the laziness of wanting to go to the place that was closest. I was also legitimately curious about their dinner because I enjoyed my lunch so much. So, yeah, the Beekman Inn.
But the dinner, let's just...
Yeah. Our server she was
awesome.
Thumbs up.
The dinner was decidedly mediocre. Because Adelle's a really good cook, so it's hard.
Thank you.
Because you do... Yeah. It's better than a lot of places that we go to eat.
When you do get into cooking and makes it hard.
But my high...
Yeah.
In Rhinebeck. It wasn't in Rhinebeck. We are almost 100% certain. Mm-hmm. Well, we know for certain that we went into Paul Rudd's.
So we went into Paul Rudd's candy store. I think he either co-owns it or he owns a little...
He co-owns it.
He co-owns a candy shop in downtown Rhinebeck called Samuel's Sweets, I think, or something.
And this is where I can let it be known that I think Paul Rudd is fucking hilarious.
You love him.
I kind of love him.
He's kind of like
I haven't seen all his movies.
I know.
I don't know if he's my guy, but...
Well, you like him, though, a lot.
I do. I like him a lot. Everybody does. Everybody.
But you really like Paul Rudd. You're always like, if he
him.
Makes a movie, it's probably good because it's Paul Rudd.
I haven't seen the whole Ant-Man thing or whatever the fuck he did with that, the superhero show he did. But I don't know. Maybe not as good. I believe it's probably good. Anyway, there was a kid working in the Paul Rudd candy store that we are like 99.9% positive that it was Paul Rudd's son.
Yeah.
Because he kind of was talking like him.
Look like him. Move like him.
He seemed like he had a really good disposition, which is kind of my vibe with Paul Rudd.
Totally.
And he was really commenting on the music that was playing.
Yeah.
And then he even said what really won me over was when he said, this song sounds like it could have been written by Benny Blanco.
Oh, I know. I'm like, we both look at each other because we've been talking so much. Lou and I have been speaking about Blenny. Sorry, Benny. You want to come on Raw, you just let us know. Benny Blanco, because we have been very intrigued and interested by him and his relationship with Selena Gomez. And
we hear a lot of pop music via our 9-year-old daughter.
Yes.
And sometimes when you're faced with that kind of repetition of music, sometimes to make it more interesting for yourself, you want to know the details. Like, hey, who wrote this song that I'm now hearing again for the 47th time? You know, I want to go a little bit deeper to make this more interesting for myself.
Yeah.
But I really am intrigued by songwriters.
Yes, that's true.
And I'm intrigued by especially intrigued by like teams of songwriters and what it takes to make the work it takes, the behind the scenes of like hit songs.
Kind of pop songs and hit songs, yeah.
So recently I've listened to, as suggested by my 20-year-old, by our 20-year-old
oldest
child.
daughter.
Yes,
Yep.
oldest daughter. She told me that I needed to listen to this podcast. Can't remember the name of it, but I listened to an interview with Benny Blanco, and it was fascinating.
Yeah.
So when Paul Rudd's, I mean, maybe for sure Paul Rudd's son mentioned Benny Blanco, I liked him even a little more, and it was kind of a highlight. I don't know, it's a little bit of a highlight.
It was kind of adorable the way he tossed it in there. It felt very of now, like, oh, maybe this song was written by guys, Blenny. What is wrong with me? Benny Blanco. I wonder if his name is Benjamin. Benny is such a cute nickname.
Well, Blanco's not his last name.
Oh, what's his last name?
I don't know, but it's not Blanco.
Well, just to put it on record. Wow, it sounds so serious. The new Benny Blanco and Selena Gomez album, because it's together. Their names are together in it. We're fans.
Yeah.
It's a really great album.
Yeah.
And
It's good.
I think they're just lovely.
They make a good couple.
I think they make a great
They
couple.
made some good music. It's a really...
Whenever I'm seeing interviews with them, I'm like, dang,
It's an interesting record.
It's really interesting.
What's it called?
I think I said I love you first.
Okay.
Something like that.
It's a really...
Yeah, I love it. And I love the sequencing. I enjoy the album. I think it's really interesting. I think that she has found someone who can appreciate her and also maybe like add a richness and a depth to kind of like, get some cool creative juices flowing. Like,
it's an emotional record. And it's full of like found sounds.
Yeah,
it's full of like little bits of conversation.
I
There's
think
a lot
he
of,
appreciates her.
There's a lot of flavor on the record. It's actually, it really
Yeah.
comes off as a document to a degree. What it touches on stylistically, I find pleasing. In some ways, it reminds me of like, I don't know, European pop from the 1980s. Mm-hmm. It's really, but
yeah, like Selena, I think is just this interesting, wonderful, creative, deep woman who I think there's so much depth to her, and I'm so glad she found someone who also seems to have a lot of creative depth. And I was interested in him separately. Years ago, I saw like a little video for Architectural Digest. They do like little quick videos where they visit people's homes to give you little tours. And it was his home. I believe it's in Beverly Hills. It's somewhere in LA. And it was so unique and not typical and stunning and just beautiful textures and colors and patterns. And I'm like, this person's interesting. So I love this collaboration for them personally, professionally. I'm interested.
So what was a low for you?
Oh, so a low for me.
Was it Tia Leone and her dog?
So
we couldn't escape Tia Leone.
We literally ran into her in Rhinebeck, and either her friend or partner's big dog. Dogs are everywhere in Rhinebeck specifically.
Yes.
Oh no, in Hudson too. Remember,
that's right.
Big dogs. Yeah, people are really into their big dogs. So, she was walking down the street, guys, looking gorgeous, but we passed her, bumped into her literally with her dog, and her dog kind of stopped, and she was like, "Can you get this?"
Time to stop
Anyway, and then we bumped into her again, or we saw her again. Was that a low? I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm cut off.
Maybe you'll stop talking.
Wow. Well,
You've got plenty of things to do.
we didn't really talk about our trip too much. I'll write about it on the Substack.
What do you
Yeah, it's
do?
like I tried to clip the Grateful Dead 'Cause we were getting.
I know. I was
we were
like, you
about-
seem really like you want to just cut me off this Grateful Dead.
And then we started talking about Benny Blanco, and then
Thank you for listening
Hey,
to Raw
you know, we're just
Impressions,
following,
the Raw Impressions podcast,
following where we go,
starring
right?
Adele
Following the
Barlow
path.
and her husband. That guy.
So does anyone want to meet me? Deliver? Can you actually, for real, fix, not a fake fixing it, but for real, fix a 4-track? Email us at rawimpressionspodcast@gmail.com.
that's the Grateful Dead, right there. That's how fucked up the 4-track is. It's buzzing. I can't record on it.
Lame.
I mean, I can record on it. I mean, obviously I did, but
Yeah.
but it's fucked up. It needs to be fixed.
Yeah. Did you hear that? rawimpressionspodcast@gmail.com. Put 4-track fixer in your subject. And
Subject.
you can't come to my house, but I'll meet you in some public place, a very public place, and I'll hand you a 4-track and we'll make an agreement. And you're going to actually fix it.
They might not be able to.
Because I feel like a lot of people love to promise that, but can they actually do it? Right?
Well, I understand if they can't.
So don't offer unless you can actually.
Well, they might
Do
not
it.
be able to fix it. The things are literally made of plastic and rubber bands.
Well, but they should be able to say clearly, if they see it, yes, I can fix it, or no, I can't. Right?
I mean, a rubber band, a 30-year-old rubber band.
Well, I don't know. People fix things, honey. What are you talking about?
I know, I've heard about that. I'm not much of a fixer myself.
Yeah, we're not. We're the users. We need other people to do the fixing. So thank you for joining us on Raw Impressions.